Hi. I was just trying it to see whether my bilateral coordination is good, whether both sides of my hand, or rather both sides of my brain, are communicating well or not. That is what's called as bilateral integration. Now, if we come to think about it, bilateral coordination is required for almost everything that we do daily. If we try to eat, if we try to dress up, if we try to even comb our hair, if we try to apply toothpaste on a brush, taking a bath, everything seems to require bilateral integration. There are two main skills that should be present so that a bilateral integration is good. The first one happens to be crossing the midline. You know, kids start to do that very frequently. First, when an infant tries to bring their hands together to clap, or hold an object or a toy and tries to bring it to its mouth. So the midline orientation appears and then they start crossing it. So if, for example, I try to scratch my left elbow with my right hand, the second skill would be body awareness. So body awareness is just not that I know my body parts. It's about even if my eyes are open or closed, I still know what's there. So even with my eye closed, I know my hands are moving in front of me. This is my head, these are my ears, the right one, the left one, my eyes. I know the orientation of different body parts. Midline crossing usually is there by 3 or 4 years of age. It is quite perfected by the child. And as far as body awareness goes, it takes up to about 7 years to clearly identify, especially the discrimination of the left and the right sides of the body. But these can get affected not only in general if a child has a kind of a developmental delay or someone has some problem related to visual perceptual skills or visual motor skills, even children who have autism or are having ADHD, even some adults who have stroke or any other neurological condition, these skills might get affected and they need to be trained for that. At a very basic level, I think I can start with just holding a ball with both my hands. If I'm able to stabilize it, first close to my body, then away from my body, and if one of my hands is weak, I might lose it. Or even if the integration between both sides of my brain is not good, the coordination is not good, it may fall. If I can walk towards you while holding this ball, that is also a skill. So I can hold it not only here, I can hold it towards the sides, I can hold it above my head, and I really want to try another skill. If I try to balance this ball like this on this board, that is also bilateral integration skill, and it can actually be used for training purposes. As I was doing a task before, if I try to make circles with both hands, as I'm a right-handed person, you can see my left circles are not that dark, but I'm still okay with it. I can try to make dots simultaneously in both. That is something known as symmetrical patterns. If I try to do it right then left, that is called an alternating pattern. These kind of patterns are really important for every task. So for example, if I'm trying to do something, symmetrical could be if I'm holding my shirt and I want to take it off, or I want to pull my shirt down with both hands. That is a symmetrical pattern. For an alternating pattern, for example, I try to simply walk. So we know our hands move in an alternating fashion, or even while riding a bike, or even as simple as when an infant starts to crawl. But as far as a third aspect of asymmetrical pattern goes is when one hand stabilizes and the other hand tries to work. So if I have a tissue in my hand, I will try to stabilize it with one hand and try to cut pieces depending on how big pieces I want to make. Initially, children will go just like this. The same thing goes for stringing beads. I can start with bigger beads initially so that it's easier for me, where my left hand has to shift and my right hand will move. And then later on I can move on to small beads. You know what? Now I'm really thirsty talking. If I want to pour water, I will always try to use my dominant hand to try to pour and my non-dominant hand to try to stabilize the class. Initially, when children try to color, what do they exactly do? Their coloring goes just anywhere. They wouldn't even mind where the color is going. But as their bilateral integration improves, they learn how to stabilize better. Their motor skills also improve, and then they learn to color within a specific space. Some other examples of activities that can help improve bilateral integration are use of construction toys or blocks to make asymmetrical or symmetrical patterns, playing of instruments like a guitar, piano, etc. Play-Doh activities like making it flat with a rolling pin. You can check out my video for how Play-Doh activities are used. Making different body poses like yoga asanas can help. Playground equipment is excellent for children. Obstacle courses are really interesting. Along with that, games on trampoline or gym ball can be used. Any kind of pushing, pulling or carrying activities, swimming, games like hopscotch, animal walks, twister game, and games related to body part where left-right discrimination can really be helped with. Let me know how informative this video was. Please mention in the comments below, and we'll meet again.